Oh my God.
Everybody has
My name is Charlie Kirk.
Fuck your homie dead. The fuck? The only reason that you're getting away with it. Hey, look at me. Look at me, everybody. Look at me. Look at me.
What does it say about us as a society when you see an 18-year-old college student thinks dancing on someone's grave, literally, metaphorically, is not just acceptable but something worth filming and sharing, when mocking a murder victim becomes performance art for social media clout? Okay, last week Charlie Kirk was assassinated at Utah Valley University. This week we watched college students turn his death into entertainment. And if that doesn't terrify you about where we are headed as a civilization, then you haven't been paying attention to what happens when we lose our collective soul. Guys, I want you to think about this for a moment, and then I'll be back with my further commentary.
You're so brave. She started saying, haha, your homie dead. For saying this. Evil is real, people, and it kind of looks like that. Evil. Evil. Murder is bad. She is evil.
This student, Camryn Booker, is currently going viral right now. She was arrested for mocking the unaliving of Charlie Kirk. Apparently, there was some type of vigil held on campus by students, and she came through acting a fool.
Fuck your homie dead. Fuck your homie dead. He got shot in the head.
One of the things that a lot of Americans are clearly showing they do not understand is freedom of speech. Freedom of speech, we all have it. If you're an American citizen, you can speak out against the U.S. government. You can't just say what you want wherever and whenever you want. If you want to speak out against the government, the president, any member of Congress, any legislative branch, that's fine. There's no problem with that at all. But there is an issue in regards to where you say it. If you're on the clock at your job, you have a problem. Hundreds of people have been fired from their jobs in regards to speaking out against the unaliving of Charlie Kirk. They're essentially celebrating. People are like, why are they getting fired? I thought it was freedom of speech. It only protects you as an entity against the government. If you go into work, that company has their own policies. This young lady, Camryn Booker, same thing. On a college campuses, they have their own policies. They have their own rules. They do not have to give you or grant you the freedom to say whatever you want to against whoever you want to. If they feel it goes against either company culture or, in that situation, the college culture. They are separate from the government. That's how that simply goes. Even if your college receives government funding, they still can punish you for speaking out against something that may be very controversial or that may stir up some problems in that workplace or on that college campus. This young lady overall is facing expulsion for literally just acting a fool. Her academic career may be at jeopardy because she did not know and understand the rules. You can say what you want to amongst your friends. You can speak how you want to in regards to certain things. But when you bring things to the internet, when you're out in public on private entities or at work on the clock, you don't get to just say what you want to in regards to however you want to say it. You have to be aware of certain things. The politically charged climate we live in can bring real consequences. You can clearly see with a lot of these people being fired. The reality is again, you have freedom of speech, but it's against your government. And where and how you use that freedom of speech, you need to be very, very careful with. That's it.
It has been confirmed that student from Texas Tech, Camryn Booker, she got expelled from the school. And a lot of people have been trying to frame it as if, oh, she got expelled because she was mocking the death of Charlie Kirk. No, that's not the reason why. If you actually look at the footage, she committed assault. She smacked the guy's hat. She basically tipped the guy's hat. And apparently she was also shoving people around. And one of the people that she shoved around was a veteran. When will people learn that there are consequences to your actions? And like I said, it's not the fact that she was mocking Charlie Kirk, because like I've always said, in this country, you have freedom of speech. Yes, you know, companies are going to fire you that school could have probably expelled her too for saying stuff like that. But in terms of going to jail and the reason why she got arrested, it's not because she was saying, you know, screw Charlie Kirk, or, you know, he got shot in the head. Because she was chanting stuff like, oh, your homie is dead, he got shot in the head. Right? But a lot of people are trying to make it seem like, oh, she got arrested because of that. No, she got arrested because she committed assault. Once you touch somebody's hat or anything that's on somebody, yeah, that's assault, bro. So another life ruined for no reason, just because they want to be petty. Another life ruined for no reason. No reason. Yeah, like, let these people hold their vigils in peace. Like, that is what this country's supposed to be like, peace, bro. Like, why can't we just have regular peace? This is crazy.
This woman thought she would have no repercussions for her actions, and she could not have been more wrong. This is an 18-year-old student from Texas Tech University named Camryn Booker, who was caught on video dancing around campus mocking the passing of Charlie Kirk. She was seen laughing, dancing, and running around the campus singing a song that I can't repeat to you here. And it was all in response to another student with a red hat on and a sign saying, "Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk." Now, when she was done mocking him, she decided to walk up to him with the police standing off to the side and smack his hat off of his head, which then she was arrested for. Now, before that, she was also arguing with other students about reparations and about how much she deserved them. And according to reports now, she has been expelled from Texas Tech after being arrested and being booked for assault. As you can see from her mugshot here, she was definitely not expecting to be arrested and was not very happy with it. And so many people saw this video of her dancing around that even the governor of Texas quote tweeted it, saying how happy and proud he was of the Texas Tech Police Department for getting this student arrested. I'm sure this woman didn't think anything was going to come from her mocking the passing of Charlie Kirk until she decided to put her hands on another student, and now she will have this arrest on her record for the rest of her life.
Let's start with the facts, because in our post-truth hellscape, those apparently still matter to some of us. Okay, Charlie Kirk, 31 years old, founder of Turning Point USA, was shot and killed at Utah Valley University. A young man is dead, a family is grieving, a community is mourning. Okay, at Texas Tech University in Lubbock, students organized a vigil. People gathered to honor someone whose life was cut short by violence. And that's when Camryn Booker, 18 years old, barely an adult, decided this was a moment to go viral. Like, who does that? The video shows her dancing around campus, laughing, running, singing songs about Kirk's death, like saying words I can't even mention in this video. Like, okay, this lady didn't stop there. She escalated to physical violence, smacking a MAGA head off a mourner's head, and act that will land her in jail as assault charges. But here's what gets me, and this is where we need to dig deeper than the surface outrage. This wasn't a moment of passion. This wasn't a spontaneous reaction. This was performance. This was calculated cruelty designed for maximum viral impact. There is something deeply unsettling happening in American political discourse, and the Texas Tech incident is just the most grotesque symptom of a much larger disease. We've reached a point where ideological possession, and that's exactly what this is, ideological possession has completely severed our connection to human basic empathy. Think about what had happened to Camryn Booker's mind for her to see a vigil for a murder victim and think, this is my opportunity to make content. The psychological architecture required for that level of dehumanization is just staggering. This is not about free speech. We're talking about complete moral collapse that occurs when we stop seeing our political opponents as human beings deserving of basic dignity, even in death. Because who laughs or who dances at a grave of someone? Okay, let me talk about the theoretical nature of online politics, like how we perform our beliefs rather than truly hold them. But what happens when that performance requires us to dance on graves? What happens when the algorithm rewards cruelty so effectively that young people see tragedy as opportunity. And then reality hits hard. Booker was arrested, expelled from Texas Tech University. Her mugshot plastered across every news outlet. Governor Abbott personally celebrated her arrest. Her life derailed at 18 because she thought mocking a murder victim would make her TikTok famous. Okay, and the university's response was swift and decisive. Any behavior that denigrates victims of violence will not be tolerated. Period. End of discussion. But here is what really it's wild, because hundreds of people have lost their jobs over social media posts celebrating Kirk's death. Military personnel suspended. Teachers under review. Jimmy Kimmel pulled off the air for his comments. We are witnessing the collision between consequences, free internet culture, and the very real world where actions have lasting impact. These kids grew up thinking they could say anything, do anything, post anything without meaningful consequences because the person who was like doing the neck signs. Okay, it's crazy. But let us zoom out for a moment. Let's ask the harder questions. And what kind of society produces young adults who think celebrating political assassination is entertainment? What kind of information ecosystem rewards this behavior? What kind of moral framework allows 18-year-olds to lose their humanity so completely that they can dance over someone's death? We can talk about free speech all day, and we should. The First Amendment protects your right to be an awful human being, but constitutional protections don't shield you from social, economic, and personal consequences of choosing to celebrate murder. Universities ain't government entities bound by the same free speech constraints. Employers ain't required to tolerate employees who publicly celebrate political violence. Society isn't obligated to protect you from the fallout of your own moral failures. This is bigger than one disturbed college student in Texas. This is about what happens when political tribalism becomes so toxic that basic human decency becomes negotiable. When ideological purity tests override fundamental moral boundaries. When the dopamine hit of viral content becomes more important than elementary human compassion, right? And before we get too comfortable pointing fingers at one deranged teenager, let's have an honest conversation about the ecosystem that produced her. Because charity begins at home. What is happening back at home? How many of us have participated in the dehumanization of our political opponents? How many times have we shared content that reduces complex human beings to cartoon villains? How often have we chosen ideological conformity over moral courage? So I don't know what you think about this, but I'd like you to tell me down in the comments below. Make sure your comments are respectful, because people are grieving, people are mourning, and it's not good to dance on someone whose life was cut short by assassination. Thank you for watching.